Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. In fact, if you're old to the channel, please subscribe as well. I think I said this a few months ago, so it's no dig because I do exactly the same thing. The amount of channels I watch on YouTube religiously and I just forget to subscribe. Like there's a guy that I watch every single Sunday called Matt Armstrong. He fixes up cars, incredible content. I hadn't subscribed for ages and I've been watching that guy for years. So if you are one of those people that have been watching this channel for weeks, months, years maybe, and you just haven't subscribed, please do. Obviously, we hit the big target of 100,000. There is no real target anymore, but I do want the channel to kind of continually grow. So yeah, if you hadn't subscribed or haven't subscribed, please do. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about today. Let's start here. WBA orders Rolando Romero to face Gasiov as Manny Pacquiao looms. Geez, I hope the Manny Pacquiao thing just goes away. Like, I know Manny Pacquiao looked good against Barrios, but I almost wanted that to be a one and done. Like, he had this big itch he wanted to scratch, and he scratched it, and I thought that was it. But because he performed pretty well in that fight, I guess there is this interest to see Manny Pacquiao have another one. There is no interest from me. I am more interested in this one. This is a good welterweight fight. I mean, Rolly Romero we know can crack, but Gasiov's just a much better boxer, like much better. That's an intriguing matchup. Gasiov is with Matchroom, I believe. I think Rolly Romero is either a free agent or does stuff for PBC, although he did fight on that ring card. The one in Times Square, obviously beat Ryan Garcia. So I feel like he might just be a free agent that will go to the highest bidder. So yeah, I think that's a good fight. I don't mind it. And as I said, I'd much prefer to see that than Rolly Romero versus Manny Pacquiao. I want some transparency. Keith Thurman waiting on Sebastian Fundora. Rick Glazer. I don't know if you guys follow Rick on Twitter. Seems to be like a boxing insider. Some things he gets wrong, some things he gets right. He's been very anti-PBC for a long time, so I don't know how true this is. But he's basically said Sebastian Fundora isn't injured, and they've kind of just put a hold or a call on the event just because it wasn't doing any numbers. Like there was no ticket sales, and they thought the event was going to tank. So they basically just fabricated this Sebastian Fundora injury thing. I mean, all it takes is a scan. That's all it takes is Sebastian Fundora to maybe post a scan of the injury and we can all get these conspiracy theories put to bed. I do feel sorry for Keith. A lot of the fighters in the undercard have been moved to the, to what card is it? Lamont Roach, Isaac Cruz. So I think Fulton has been moved to that card as well against Oshaki Foster. There's a lot of talk about Alam Kanani. I think it's not even talk. I think it's confirmed Alam Kanani is going to fight Lara. Surely you put Keith on that. Surely you put Keith Thurman versus, I mean, again, that list of top guys at 154 pounds is so big. Surely Keith has a run out against one of those guys. Or maybe Keith just wants to sort of, I don't know, give his all for a world title shot rather than risk losing to some guy kind of unknown to the general public in the top 10. But we'll see. Fraser Clark frustrated about rewards for former opponent David Allen. I haven't heard him called David for ages. I get where Fraser's coming from. I do. And I tried to kind of bat against what Tony Bellew was saying post-fight, because there's a lot of talk about Dave Allen lost. Okay, Dave Allen can just fight for the British title. I was like, oh, 1 second. You know, the British title was Fraser Clark versus Jimmy TKV. Why are we giving Dave all these opportunities? Do you know what I mean? Especially considering that Fraser Clark beat Dave a couple of years ago. And some people have made the excuse, yeah, but Dave wasn't in shape. Well, that's not Fraser's fault. Fraser beat him convincingly. And I think Fraser would beat him again, like convincingly as well. I guess this all just comes down to, like, A, you're a promoter, and B, are you a ticket seller? Unfortunately, if you've got a top promoter, I think Eddie is that, right? Whether you like him or not, top promoter, and you're a ticket seller, you do jump the queue a little bit. It happens. And I think Fraser should understand that that's just happened since the dawn of time in boxing. I don't think it's an ability thing, because I think we all agree that Fraser's better than Dave Allen, or at least I think so. I think it's just a case of how many bums on seats can you put, the interest in your fight, and who your promoter is. Like Eddie Hearn will scream from the rooftops about Dave Allen. I don't think I've heard too much from Ben Shalom about this Fraser Clark Jimmy TKV fight? Have you guys? I haven't heard much. Where it should be like, you know, really and truly, Ben Shalom should be screaming at Fraser, like, Fraser's going to be that next guy. If Fraser beats him, we want Fraser versus. I haven't really heard that. Whereas if Dave Allen had come through Makhmudov, there's a lot of talk about Wilder and silly talk about AJ. And although it's silly, you almost want that talk because all of a sudden you're in the mix. Maybe whether or not you deserve it or not, you want that talk. Whereas Fraser's not getting that talk at the moment. So, yeah, I understand the frustration from Fraser. Obviously, Fraser Clark versus Jimmy TKV is on the same day as Parker Wardley, which I think is a mistake. I really do. Some people will say, yeah, it's on BBC, so it'll get more eyeballs. I think you're living in the past. I really, really believe that anyone that thinks that, it's almost like the Sky machine. Remember, we used to hear that a lot. If you're on Sky Sports, you've got the Sky Sports machine, but them days are done. The way people consume content is just completely changed. And don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go about boxing on the BBC. I think it's a fantastic idea. But if, you know, like when I was young, I remember, I don't know why, I used to be obsessed with looking at the numbers that EastEnders got and the snooker got, like all these things that are on the BBC. And back in the day, there were huge numbers, like millions, like 17, 18 million. That don't happen anymore, people. People are just not watching TV like that. They're just not. So, look, I hope it gets good numbers, but I don't think it's going to get the numbers people are thinking it will because it's on the BBC. I just don't think it works like that anymore. But good luck to both. I like both guys. I think Fraser will win. And then hopefully Fraser's in the mix. Like losing to Fabio the way he lost to Fabio, I think he's rebuilt, or I think he will be rebuilt properly after that. My only concern for Fraser, I think he's 34, 35. But I think Fraser's a really good fighter. All right, let's talk about Fabio Wardley, Joseph Parker. Really intrigued by this fight, really. Remember when this fight was announced, I was like, ooh, this is a bit of a jump for Fabio. And it is. It's a bit of a jump. Some might say it's a jump for Fabio and it's a bit of a come down for Joseph Parker. Remember, this is the Joseph Parker whose last three opponents have been Wilder, Zhang and Bakole. You know what I mean? So it is a come down. There's no two ways about it. But he just needs to fight. This is my biggest concern for Joseph Parker going into this fight. Joseph Parker has fought 4 minutes of action in, I think it's about 18 months. Remember, he had the Zhili Zhang fight. When was that? March 2024. And then obviously the Bakole fight, which lasted 4 minutes. 4 minutes in, I think, 17 or 18 months is just, I mean, you can spar as much as you want. You can be in the best shape of your life or think you're in the best shape of your life. But 4 minutes in 17, 18 months, I think that's correct, just isn't enough. It's just not enough. So activity is my biggest concern for Joseph Parker and just rustiness. Honestly, it's a big, big concern. Like, he's been desperate for a fight. I mean, Dave Allen was linked with a fight with him just because he wants to stay busy. And I know this for a fact because I've spoken to Andy Lee about this. He just wanted a stay busy fight and he's not had one. So he's going in there against someone that has been busy, someone that has been active, someone that, recently fought. When did he fight? April? Was it April or May, that Justice Hooney fight? So he's been active, Fabio Wardley. And that fight was tough for Fabio, but Fabio would have learned and taken a lot from that. That being said, Joseph Parker is a favourite. He's a big favourite. I'm not saying anything you guys don't know. Joseph Parker is a big favourite. Joseph Parker is maybe the second best heavyweight in the world. I mean, there's that debate right between Joseph Parker and Ade Gman. That's how good Joseph Parker is. Joseph Parker is so experienced. It's incredible. Like, the list of names, Joseph Parker. Like, when it's all said and done, I mean, people, I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. Win or lose, you look at who Joseph Parker has fought, people. This is off the top of my head, right? Carlos Takam, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Derek Chisora, Joe Joyce. Who am I missing here? Zhili Zhang, Deontay Wilder, Martin Bakole, and Fabio Wardley. I feel like I've missed someone. But that alone, look at that, what I've just said. And when you think about it as well, like when you think of the Carlos Takam one, Carlos Takam obviously later on in years became a gatekeeper. Carlos Takam was still fucking good back then. Andy Ruiz, obviously good back then. Like, he's not fighting guys when they're kind of done. Dillian White, very good back then. Chisora was tough. Remember that fight against Chisora? Very, very tough. Zhili Zhang. Deontay Wilder was supposed to beat him and fight AJ. Like, he's fighting guys when they're still very, very good. Still very, very good. So he has a lot of experience. He's now a veteran. But again, the concern is he's been out the ring for a long, long time. But he would have watched that Justice Hooney fight and he would think, one second, I'm a lot better than Justice Hooney. I'm maybe as fast as Justice, but I'm more in your face, more aggressive, certainly hits harder than Justice Hooney, way more experienced than Justice Hooney. And I think he can take a crack, or at least what we have seen from Joseph Parker, that, I mean, he gets up, doesn't he? So even in the fights where he has been bashed up a bit, Joe Joyce kind of comes through it a bit. Chisora hit him with a lot, came through it a bit. Zhili Zhang cracked him and I thought that was it. Got up and came through it a bit. So even when he does get hurt, he finds something. He really does. This fight, because of what Fabio did in his last fight, you almost feel like this fight's going to be dangerous until the very fucking last second. Like either until Fabio is out on his feet and done, or until the bell goes. You feel like, okay, well, if Fabio lands one, because Fabio just has that power. He really does. It's like, he has that power, people. I will never forget that Fraser Clark shot. Never. Until the day I die. Because I remember going in and looking at Fraser and thinking, oh my God. Like, I remember I was so scared for Fraser that I thought Fraser might not ever fight again. Like, I thought it was permanent damage. So it's so good to see Fraser back. But that's what that guy carries in either hand. Either hand. And he actually, I think, benefits from the fact he hasn't been boxing long. So he's quite difficult to read. Like someone that's had this amateur standout background, you can kind of read what they're going to do a bit because they've been doing it for so long, unless you're obviously fucking USYK or Loma. Because he's got a bit of Nigel Benn about him. He's a bit reckless. And when he gets hurt, he doesn't know how to tuck up. He just wants to throw with mean intentions. So there could be a time where Joseph Parker hurts him and commits and gets chinned. I don't know, but I do look forward to it. I believe I'm presenting it. I believe I'm doing the in-ring interviews, all that good stuff. And it, again, always feel blessed to be at these type of events. And can't wait. Honestly, and can't wait. All right, let's have a look. Mate, this Lidard Kieran Conway fight, the part of me is like, Matchroom are taking a risk here, you know? But there's almost, I feel like what Eddie's doing nowadays is like, Eddie's not that he's not building fights, but it's like you're getting paid well, prove yourself. We saw against Janae Boston. We've seen it with certain fighters that he's got where like Cameron Vong. He ain't fucking around with these guys, is he? He's almost like, okay, you can't stay a prospect forever. If you think you're going to be that guy, then let me put you in with someone that is that guy and let's see who wins. And Kieran Conway kind of is that guy, especially at British level. So that's a really good fight on a Friday evening. At York Court. I think that's a fantastic fight for York Court. It's going to be an incredible crowd. Obviously, Lidard, he's a West Ham boy, isn't he, in terms of a West Ham fan, so he's going to get a lot of fans coming down. He'll pack that place out. So he's going to have the crowd. But I just feel like Kieran Conway might just be a bit too experienced. But who knows? Who knows, right? All right, guys, girls, wait, what else we got? Nick Ball versus Brandon Figueroa, ordered by the WBA. Woo! That's a tough fight. That's a tough fight for both. Very, very tough fight for both. Anyway, all right, we'll talk about that another time. We'll also talk about Denzel Bentley another time. Guys, girls, peace and love.